matter if it falls and crashes, it's going to come back up, I think, right? Long term, I think this is the play.
Yes.
And so while I'm holding on to them in cold storage, because they're not on my hot wallet on my phone,
You got Trezor?
I have a keep key.
Oh, I have
and,
keep key.
and then I have a Trezor also.
Nice.
And so they sit in my safe deposit box, right? It's locked away. And I don't care what happens to them because I'm saving them for my kids, right? Kind of a thing.
You want to tell us where?
Yeah. Chase? So it's free. I'm an employee. I don't get charged for safe deposit box.
That's a good question.
down.
Should you keep them? What's the best place to keep your?
Well, I keep them in cold storage because I don't trust myself.
No, I mean like safe in the safe.
Are they
deposit
electromagnetically
box,
safe?
Your house, or like what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But the
I haven't
good
checked
news is,
yet.
But the good news is, I keep a reserve in another place and another reserve in another place with the seed key just as a backup. So if the one here gets destroyed, I can always go to another place.
So you go like MMN? Is that?
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is, again, the use cases that are coming down the pike are completely just wide open. The first mover advantage, right? Bitcoin, like you said, finance is the place where it's going to hit first because that's the most obvious. But I think it permeates so much more, right? So my idea was, how can I use my Bitcoin as collateral, right? While it's sitting in cold storage, how can I use it as collateral to pledge against the loan for a African farmer so that he can increase his yields? So we're talking now crowdfunding plus micro lending, right? So how do you put those two together where then that farmer can increase his yield by 20% so he can feed his family, drives the price of food down because now there's more, right? And I get a 3% rate of return while it's sitting in there anyway. You see what I mean? So it's sitting there. I don't know what percentage of the world has their coins and they're just holding on to them, but I think there's a lot, right? Because there's not a lot of people buying and selling it because there's not a use case. You can't walk into a 7-Eleven and buy a big gulp.
Well,
But then-
hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. There are cards that are connected to a Bitcoin account.
Yeah, debit card.
Yeah, there's already a bunch of them, and so
Zappo came out with one.
yeah, I have a Shift. So Shift is connected directly to my Coinbase account, and if I want to go buy, a drink or food at whoever
Just
takes Visa,
request that from Coinbase?
well, you can check out Shift. It's like $10, and then bam, they swipe it or whatnot, and they do the conversion.
They do all the stuff on the back end,
Right.
right? They make it seamless for you. You don't have to mess with it.
So basically, your Bitcoin can stay in Coinbase and fluctuate with the price will continue to fluctuate. It's not like you're cashing it out and putting it on the card for a certain amount.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
And people in other countries with the volatility, compared to the volatility that they experience, Bitcoin's nothing. So, again.
Depending on the country.
Huh?
Depending on the country.
Depending on the
Because
country.
there's some countries, some currencies are more volatile than others.
Argentina is a good one.
Argentina.
Zimbabwe. At one point, 96% of the citizens were unemployed at one point. When there was, broke trillionaires, right? With that $1 trillion bill.
Right. Yeah.
So, but anybody else have any other questions?
So with your coins in cold storage, let's say something happens to you, does your wife know how to go in and get them all?
She does know. She just doesn't know the mechanics about what to do. So she knows to find somebody who's well versed. And I keep a network of close friends that I talk to about this all the time, besides the meetup groups, right? So hopefully she'll know what to do.
Talk to my greatest.
I mean, it's a sad thing, but maybe that's another business idea, right? Bitcoin consultancy.
That was what I was getting at. Is that there's going to be a massive population of people who need the right message, because you're going to get. I think we can all agree, regardless of what
Bad actors, number one.
what denomination of politics you prefer, the news sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just distorted, right? And even if you watching, CNBC manipulates the markets and intentionally to come. There's people will get the wrong message if they don't have somebody to go. And right now, because there's not you go online, but you don't even know who you're talking to, especially on a global sale that's just so broad. I think the first practical business can be as simple as a you be careful about how you know, but right now it's not regulated, and that's where money really gets made. You know, do it right before it gets regulated, because that's
Right.
when they.
Yeah.
But helping people
Mhm.
understand education, whatever you want to call it, right?
Absolutely.
But I mean, I could see taking a retail storefront, you know, and just putting some Bitcoin ATMs in it,
Mhm.
and decking the rest out with, like, you know, loungy stuff, and just hanging out and trading, and just have people come in and ask questions, and
Maybe
you
we
know,
can H&R Block.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Another-
That sounds like
another
that sounds like a
reason-
Bitcoin embassy, and I think they had some of those like around. the
Well, Disrupt Hub is gonna start here pretty soon.
I was talking about a coffee shop, but
Another
is the Bitcoin embassy, is that bad? I did see
the most profitable ATMs. I don't know if it's in the world or in the
Vegas?
country. Is in Vegas.
How do you avoid it, like breaking laws on investment advice and
it's not. It's
trading?
it's.
I don't. There's always laws you
no-
don't know about, right?
No.
Yeah.
I yes,
That'd
but
be
right
the
now
thing.
it's not regulated.
Well, no,
And
there's
so-
laws now, but like you can't, if you're not a professional investor, you can't tell someone how to invest their money, right?
Period. Yeah. You just tell them that, you know.
This is what I do.
I would-
There's rules you
Right,
can say.
that's-
Like,
Well,
this is- if I were you, this is what I
Yeah.
would do.
Regardless, I would not want to get sued because that sucks. Whether they can sue you or not, or you broke a law, just getting sued is not fun. So
You can't tell them that
Uh,
this is what you should do. You should
if-
do, this is
if
what I
you-
would do.
Right. Like that.
you really have to be
Right.
a good-hearted, want to inform people. Because here's what I got into, residential lending way after I have any control over any of it, right? But people don't understand what the transaction, because we're taught that you've got, you go to the bank and the bank has money and you've got something you give them in exchange, and they're going to get the interest over the life.
They don't have the money, but yeah. That's what
They don't have the
backgrounds
money,
are-
but the money doesn't come from them, because if they did in a cost of money fluctuating environment, the bank in 5 years would have depreciated half of their value relative to the peers. So they don't lend money out like that. They convert it into a bond and find the appetite for investors way out here, and that's what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac do. But that is where, so a mortgage process is somebody who generates it, creates the right to
Well, if
to
you could
service it.
sell to people who want to make
and somebody
5% on their money and think they're not getting on the banks, if you could build something for them, you'd have people knocking down your door, right?
Well, that's, I'm not very. I'm
But I would say without the Bitcoin, just like help people have a token or something. I don't know how you do it.
No, I think that just this concept begins to open up creative ideas to say, okay, why does it have to be a bond?
Right.
Because if the market is given, everybody's getting a commoditized mortgage, by the way, at 4%. Everybody's doing it, and it's all going to the same place. I don't care who you are. They're just lying about everything else. That all that stuff is deceptive, because every morning Fannie Mae sets the rate. Now there's cost of margin in order to manufacture that will fluctuate from company to company, but you don't get that, and most of the people that do it don't even understand that, and so that bothers me, because I did, for 7 years I didn't understand what I was doing or why, because I didn't get taught. It was a checklist, and so I take a very educational approach to my clients, because I have to arm them with enough truth so that they go out into the world, because the second that they type a mortgage question to me,
But with Bitcoin,
they've got advertisers on them.
there's already there's too many questions that no one has any idea.
But locally, right? You have a local,
Right.
somebody's going to look, who can I talk to? Because I didn't know.
Disrupt Hub might be a good option for you. So they're just now starting to develop it. There's a couple of guys that are part of our Bitcoin meetup groups,
Uh-huh.
and they're forming something called Disrupt Hub.
Neil and Fred.
Neil and Fred, they're
Yeah.
getting together, and they're forming an incubator style place.
Is it gonna be over here at WeWork or where
I
we're?
think it's going to be at WeWork.
Yeah.
It's another one of
Right
these
next door, it's a
shared
building next door.
co-working spaces like this, like this place,
Yeah.
where they're going to meet every
Is this
so
a shared
often,
office here?
and they're going to have a group for newbies, a group for intermediate guys, and a group for I want to build a business and here's my idea, help me out. So they're going to try to do this almost like an incubator style. And it's called Disrupt Hub. So look for it on the Meetup app and sign up for the next event. I think it's coming up in late June.
Is there any other questions you may have about storage or how to buy Bitcoin or how to buy
What about-
altcoins, how to shift them, how to trade,
the
what exchanges?
is the trading the have you trade the currency?
I started out with.
Do you leverage it?
I got one.
$1,300.
Do you leverage
Yeah.
it?
I don't leverage because it's it's playing with fire.
Right.
But that's you can make massive gains in the leverage. But that's where manipulation is the easiest. For instance, Kraken and Poloniex went down. They said they was DDoS, and then people that had trades open for shorting Dash other coins, they try to log in and can't access it. You see, so that's
How do
where
you
Jerry
cover- how do you
Jerry
cover
would
your
come in.
position?
That's where Jerry would come in because hey, the people can access their account, so who's at fault?
Right.
So you see, like I said, it's so much.
Have you heard of one block?
Nah.
Block one, something like that. It's something I just tried recently where you can follow the other traders. So like, I don't know anything about trading, but I'm like, this guy made 300% last month, so I follow him. And so it like I bet 1/20th bet in his betting. I bet like 1/20th of my stash.
Yeah.
And to follow what he does.
You
And
just mimic him.
yeah, and I mean like
But I think eventually
29%.
software will eventually do that.
Well, then, and they have those.
Crypto ping, it's algorithms and AI and predictive technology.
They've been doing that for.
But this is following people
Copy
instead
traders
of
or
software.
trading.
But,
That's
yeah.
been around.
But they've got
forever.
the robo
But if they really
traders.
work,
Yeah.
I mean, do they
Yeah.
work or do they not? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, they're more sophisticated.
everybody- if they all
than
work,
before,
everybody would be
because
so-
even
Still exists, so it's
pros,
around,
they
so
can't
I'm
even.
pretty sure.
I don't know.
Can't compete against
Too
it.
rich.
It's been around.
I was thinking.
They're replacing
It's
traders
not
with
ubiquitous,
IT
that's what I'm saying. It's like not
to build
everybody.
to make it faster.
Oh, well,
because it's no. I mean, it's
But
because
everybody
you
is
only
like,
hurt yourself
everybody be in it.
when you let your emotions get in there.
What year?
That's
What
what I'm saying.
year
If
did?
that's successful.
I believe it's what 08 when Wall Street switched over
To
and made it more automated.
well, it's actually that later. It was 2010, right? But that's what started exacerbating the flash crashes,
Right.
right?
Is when they
Wait,
switched
is that
over.
automated or is that HFT?
Well, it's high frequency trading. But then you have a glitch, right? That causes the flash crash.
Yeah.
So people start losing faith because when I put my E-Trade buy order, right?
Yeah.
For that little 100 share stock, well, it's already been traded 2,000 times by the high frequency trading machine that my price now went up exponentially. So this is a big problem, right? Because
Well,
now
I've heard some people say like they're like next door to the stock exchange because the signal
because
gets
the
there
T1
faster.
line,
I'm
the
like,
T1
I
line
never
is
even
that
heard
much
all this stuff
closer, and
until
that's
yeah.
it's really
Yeah, they're actually not New York, and they're actually moving them. It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
So they're building as close as they can
So the actual
to
front line.
slash
so
a
crazy.
100th of a second.
It's
off
like the old
that
horse
time.
race, like from the Sting movie or something.
And so, yeah, I mean, but yeah, trading is obviously profitable. The volatility is actually where the money's at.
Now is that
It's
is
a
that
trader's
is that
dream.
a HFT or is that just front running? Is that-
Well, front running's illegal, but you just can't compete against.
What is front
Yeah,
running?
when you put your trades in front of your customers. So if I was Merrill Lynch, you put in your order to buy 100, I'm going to buy it before you and then sell you for my own inventory.
Okay.
So I'm going to make the profit, basically. So front running is illegal. Technology is just unfortunately, and then we had a really good course. If you can sign up for the Ethereum meetup, guys, I think that's really good because they also talk about technology in general, which I think is a good basis for a lot of folks that are new to Bitcoin. So Mark Cuban talked about this.
The older
with,
folks or the young folks?
Yeah. Mark Cuban talked about this with situational awareness, talking about how fast can you trade, right? So he put it in a basketball analogy, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So hopefully everybody understands my analogy here. So the example he gave was, imagine it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which was just last night, right? And let's assume that score is basically neck and neck. It's the fourth quarter. You're down to 3 seconds left, and you got to score at least a 3-pointer to win, right? So you call your last 30-second timeout, you bring your guys in, you huddle, the situation calls for this play, right? They got a cheat sheet maybe that says, based on this scenario, this is the play you're going to call. So you, your coaches, there's 7 of them, your players, you decide this is what we're going to do, and we go for them. Now, a computer can run 1 million simulations per second, right? Based on everything, not just history, altitude, temperature, humidity, all these factors come into play, and they say with a 97.2% probability, if you call this play, the player still has to execute, you still have to run the play, but if you call it this play, you have a 97% chance of winning. Well, how does a human compete against that, right? When they can run-
By
collective,
the computer.
by swarm intelligence. There's
Right.
a called Uni, and actually they're using people instead of AI. And for the record, all these companies, you don't even know it, but they're already integrated AI. And when you're online and maybe think you're talking to the person, you're not. You're talking artificial intelligence. And anyways, they're using people. And the biggest one that gained news coverage was Kentucky Derby. They had I think predicted every single one, right? They started at like $1,000 and turned it into like 20 grand or something like that. Kentucky Derby, look it up. It's a Uni or anonymous or swarm intelligence. Look up swarm intelligence. But what's missing in the ecosystem and Bitcoin and stuff like that to help mainstream is women. That's what's missing. So
Women?
yes. So women, in my opinion, whoever really, break into the space
Soft touch.
is gonna be very.
Well, that's a broader issue. Women in STEM. To be honest.
There's a lot there. You've
And that's been
got,
around forever.
so I bring it up to my wife, and she's immediately going to default to
It's human nature.
security,
Right.
right?
Of course.
And and her fear of security is right here. But as the provider of the home, I'm thinking security from a different level. Like if I don't do something different, I'm going to get eaten, right? So I need to be out here participating in
Finding-
the next gold rush or
The
land
next best
rush.
tools for your hunt.
Ex-
Yeah.
Exactly, and but you're right. I mean, I think that it's probably
Yeah, there's all the it's predominantly guys. So to help drive mainstream adoption, women have to.
Like you have to take risk to have security or something like that.
For instance, Dash has Amanda B. Johnson as marketing on YouTube, Dash and Tales, and Dash was like nothing, and it came out of nowhere, and it's because A, good marketing, and B, you have a woman driving it, and there's no other women that are doing anything like that.
Well, a year ago I started being really aware of the direction my industry was heading, and that kept opening up more things. And so it started with technology. I got to technology advancements and came across Ethereum before this recent spike.
It's nice, huh?
And then when I saw it again, I was like, oh crap! I was reading all about this 3 months ago, for a completely different reason, because I was, trying to build an application in the AI space, that, or at least understand how to, and I wanted to make sure that it's scalable. Right, so am I building on the right infrastructure? If there's going to be a newer thing, what is this new thing? And I came to the conclusion, it's still
Ethereum.
not. Yeah, it's still bacon over there. I don't know what it is, but it ain't going to
Talking about
be this.
Ethereum.
Yeah,
And I got a question about that too. If I want to buy Ethereum, okay, ETC and ETH.
Which one?
What's
The difference?
I mean, and do I have to buy both?
No.
If I buy one, do I get the other one?
The
Or,
reason why
what's
ETC
going on?
came alive is because of Poloniex. Like I said, Poloniex,
Yeah.
the biggest exchange. So they literally shocked the whole ecosystem and put it on their exchange for people to buy and sell. And they're like, wow. And then literally, that's how it was from nothing. And
But I don't understand why there's
was
two
it-
of them.
was
Like,
it-
what am I? Which one is the real Ethereum? ETC or
Well,
ETH?
Ethereum Classic. See that? So me,
Uh-huh.
I hold it ETC because, think about
But you
it.
put it from a
You know,
trader.
your chair leg is about to fall over.
Yes, no, I got it.
Oh, I didn't know if you know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like,
But you're holding it from a trading perspective.
No, well, and a philosophy perspective too,
Okay.
because it forked. So the real Ethereum is Ethereum Classic, right?
Mhm.
And it's immutable, meaning that hack is still on there, and on Ethereum, that the hack that happened isn't on there.
On ETH.
But I don't understand something though. Like, do you own both coins?
No,
or
only
how does
okay.
that
Oh,
work?
if you were holding Ethereum when it forked,
Yeah.
yes, you got 1 for 1. Yes.
So you doubled your coins
Yes.
pretty much.
is that what's going to happen with the Bitcoin then? When
What?
When the
maybe
fork happens,
that's why you need.
that's why there's all these different coins. So
Well, so
I say a
well,
crash, but a crash doesn't mean that it's gonna go away. And so Luis said, hey, if it goes, up or down, sideways, up or down, he's gonna hold no matter what.
Hold on.
Some
So
people-
does fork doubled the supply of Ethereum pretty much?
Well,
Is
could
that
half the
what
Yes.
half the price too.
It halves the price, but it
Yes.
creates another currency.
It's kind of like a stock split.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they
it's not-
also realized
It's really what it was is a bailout in the digital space. That's really what it was because it was a hack. And so not to hurt the investors, they just split it. Actually, Ethereum's gonna have to split it again. So in my opinion, I wouldn't buy Ethereum right now. It's way overpriced.
you can't compare. I don't believe the trading of stocks that trade on an 8-hour period,
Right.
5 days a week,
Right.
minus holidays, with
24/7.
the trading
Yeah.
24/7
Right. It's crazy.
forever.
I like-
Like it's going to move
While you're sleeping.
3,
it
4,
rolls over.
5 years at a time faster, just because of that,
It doesn't
right?
sleep.
And so,
That's basically
the
Forex.
these 10% little gasps of air, and 18 pullback, it, and then right back up the next day. The stock market's doing it too. It's often doing it like in the middle of trading, and so people don't even see it on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
A lot of the gassing of the equities that are running up, but it's going on. I got to believe that some of that is by design with robo traders, and because that much mass can move the rest of
Yeah.
it.
Years
Yeah.
ago, Enron was going to do like weather contracts. Is anybody doing that on
No,
Bitcoin or
no.
something?
But
But it
Well, I'm
wouldn't
just curious
surprise me
because
if
that
they
was
did.
what they were about to do, and
Right.
they
It's another
failed. But
way
I mean,
to
it doesn't
generate-
mean somebody else
It's
won't.
another way to generate revenue.
The old, your
that's-
orange crop fails, but you want to hedge it. And all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The weather goes up 5 degrees, you might hurt your business.
The,
right?
the future of kids will be literally trading, derivatives, to each other.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what-
having AI do it for them.
that too potentially. So most likely, but
Isn't that basically what's going on right now in the stock market? Just a bunch of AI
yep,
battling
that's
each other?
exactly what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen the video, right, where Google Home and Amazon Echo were talking to each other?
Exactly. And that's basically what's been going on in the stock market forever. Maybe the last 10 years or something. Like, it's just basically a bunch of
Yeah.
trading bots
Right.
trading against each other.
best robot win.
So
That's exactly.
Coinbase has
I did.
So that's
Bitcoin,
why-
Ethereum, and Litecoin. So in my opinion, those are like the three to look into. Obviously, Bitcoin, and then kind of start to look into Ethereum, and then of course
Which
Litecoin.
Ethereum do you buy though?
ETC, I buy ETC.
But why not ETH?
I only buy ETH
So
to
it's
ride the
all
wave,
time
and
high.
that's what I do.
Huh?
It's
Why would you buy it at its all-time high?
yeah, but like for instance so look at Ethereum like the price, right? So how big you think the world's first
Wait,
Ethereum movie is gonna be?
Is the price the same? Like, is
No,
it,
it's not.
okay, so
Ethereum is $400 and Ethereum Classic's like $20. Why? So the reason why the massive spike is because all the dApps have been created. So there's literally like
So
all these
everyone,
ones.
is buying into ETH?
Yeah, but hold on.
No one's buying
So
ETC?
hold on. So as collateral, when you want, ICO, right? She has ICO, I want her token. I'm giving her ETH, right? And then she's giving me her token. So all these, let's say all of you were ICOs and came up, right? Then everybody's trading in They're Ethereum everywhere.
What's
And
the
that's-
difference between ETH and ETC, and why
They're the
why
same.
is ETH more expensive? Why is there
Because of the
Coinbase
DApps.
sponsors it.
That too.
Because Coinbase sponsors it.
Yes, that too, and it's the DApps. It's all the
DApps.
ICOs that are holding the reserves of ETH, and there's actually about to be the first ETC. So in my opinion, the most profitable one is ETC, and it is. You know, think about it. I mean, I bought in at a little over $1, and it's up to $20. So you see, I mean, it's already a massive increase.
But is it because ETH has more like industry support? Is
Yes,
that what
it has
is?
Ethereum, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Yeah, it has every bank
The
from-
developers.
from here to Hong Kong.
Are behind you.
The
And
most
that's
number of
what's driving it
developers
up.
of
But-
the dApps or the applications.
Yeah, they're
that
all
can be
building
used.
on top of it.
Yeah,
They-
that's right.
They don't exist without it.
Mhm.
So like on ETC's website, like in the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, and that's actually what we're starting to see with ETC happening. Is people are going to use the Ethereum Classic chain, and they're building decentralized apps. So so what's going to happen to the price? Obviously, it's going to increase because
And you said ideologically you believe in ETC more than ETH. What's this ideology that you get?
well, it's immutable, just like Bitcoin is immutable.
Uh-huh.
Meaning you can't erase, by saying
Any transactions.
Right. Because with ETH, Vitalik went in there and changed stuff up, and it's like
yeah, he forked it, right?
Yeah, he forked it.
And but also ETH is about to go to what? POS, proof of stake. So the people holding the coins
Uh-huh.
are the ones that are going to be in power. Now, I mean, just as a easy question, it went from $1 billion to $36 billion in like 90 days. Who do you think's funneling that money in there? I mean, honestly, do you think it's regular people?
Mhm.
I mean, no way. It's
Russia.
yeah. It's governments and it's
Well,
it's-
Russia came out today and publicly endorsed
right.
one of the coins.
Well, they met with Vitalik
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week. So
Putin
Putin
met-
met with Vitalik last week.
Right.
So.
I don't. If you guys haven't watched him, that's what did it for me. And I accidentally
So I
watched
I think of it from,
Vitalik answer a question
Uh-huh.
that was really complicated. I thought it was going to be a joke. It had something in the description about,
His IQ is like 150.
him answering. So and so, because I didn't know who it was. It was just in the thumbnail. So and so answers the most intelligent answer to this question, and I was like, little wiry looking guy. I didn't know. I was like, okay, so this, all cracked up dude is gonna give us some jokey answer, right?
Oh, Vitalik, you mean?
And he
He's like
had
autistic.
every freaking concept that would take very brilliant people, because he wasn't just writing code. I mean, he was understanding
Yeah.
history and infrastructure of governments and trading and financial instruments. He
He's
was
not
just
human.
I think that Dan Lamb, I don't know much about him. yet,
What are
but
they
Dan Laramore,
taking
I think, is
over
kinda
there?
He's a
like-
machine.
Like-
He's an
Well,
alien from the future.
he's
Time
Canadian.
travel.
Probably
The
worked.
Terminator.
He's
Yeah.
Russian descent, but he's actually a Canadian citizen,
mm,
right? But obviously, I look at it from a compliance perspective because of my background, right? So, and I think Russia is thinking about adopting
Yes, next
Bitcoin
year.
next year,
Yeah.
but they're doing it from
For
a defensive, from a defensive measure, right? So they've been sanctioned out the wazoo by Obama, by everybody, right? For hacking elections, for doing bad things, for killing
Allegedly.
journalists, for doing all these bad things, right? So we've got all these sanctions against Russia. So businesses cannot do business with Russia, right? Because we block their accounts from being funded, right? We, the central banks of the world, we have to authorize every transaction that goes from certain countries, right? Most of the OFAC countries. So they wanna
I think
make
an easier way to see it.
well, now they
is
can
that
circumvent all that crap because they don't use the FedWire system. They don't use the SWIFT network because we can't send them money. They can't send us money, right? We blocked them off. So now they're going to use Bitcoin as a circumvention, right? To
So-
transact. They need to sell bullets and they need to sell oil. That's what they got.
Bitcoin has always been a tool against like an anti-authority, anti-globalism hand tool, and Russia has always been against that, right? Against the whole Putin, and right the whole global
Yeah.
order
Mhm.
thing.
I mean, so
And I guess it would be a natural fit.
it's the same thing with why did Japan adopt it, right? Japan adopted last month. I think they did it as a defensive measure. right? Their GDP to
Against-
growth rate, their GDP to debt ratio is just through the roof. Their population is actually declining, right? I don't want to say they're xenophobic, but they don't take immigrants, right? They don't.
Right.
They
The
don't
oldest
blend.
populations here, right?
Huh?
So then that gets back to why would it ever be a bubble then? I mean, if these governments get behind it, it just grows forever.
Why isn't it a bubble now?
Or can they just go on forever if
Well,
these
because
governments
they
are all
can't
behind
manipulate
it?
it. They can't print anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So if you hardwired in 21 million period at the end, you can't
Yeah.
make any more.
Yeah, we never-
So wouldn't that make it safe? That's what I'm saying.
Well, it'll make it.
Except
safe.
other than adoption, everybody adopts.
So why did Japan adapt it again? I think is because they see this mounting debt bubble. They've been a walking zombie, right, for 20 years now. Their economy has been. So they
So
know
they're
that
hedging. They're hedging against like a goal.
They're hedging what I
collapse.
think is coming. What every major
All-
economist sees
collapse,
coming. That
yeah.
All
their
fiat
population
currency is a Ponzi scheme. Point blank.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
So
saying.
Population bubble?
it was never designed to be here forever. It was always designed to do what it's done. It's
So
correct.
everybody's jumping to this, and is it gonna be one too?
When you have the set number, that's what changes everything. And what it solved is the
Then
double
why are you bearish?
because of the split.
He's
But
temporarily
he's also
there.
temporary.
Right.
I think it's a temporary bear.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
it's gonna be
why
ugly.
is it split so? I
Hey.
don't know. I hear about it.
Andre said Black Swan event.
Yeah.
If Polonius got hacked, so much transactions happen on there. Trust me, it would take a lot. It would take billions and billions off the top. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
I have a question about the split. So if you do hold Bitcoin and then it splits, I mean,
Have you
read
ever seen
online
that?
that you should be taking it off the exchanges and everything. Right? So if you're holding it in a hard wallet, does it affect? It still affects it, right?
You
I
will
mean,
have it in the hard wallet.
It would be in the hard wallet,
Yes.
and then
So people that had Ethereum on a hard wallet,
Uh-huh.
when it split,
Mhm.
they had both.
oh, even though you.
So why won't the online
Yeah,
guys?
Ethereum and
So
Classic.
keep in mind.
So
go ahead, it's Christina, right?
basically, you're. Caroline.
So Caroline, sorry. Keep in mind, you don't actually hold
Oh.
the
Okay,
actual
that's
physical
right.
possession of even the virtual Bitcoin.
It's just keys.
Okay.
That you just use the keys.
So
You
no
hold the
matter
keys.
where it is, it's gonna split into two either
Exactly
way.
right.
Okay.
Explode.
And
Does it
it'll
matter if
live in that cloud. It'll live in that network,
Okay.
and
I
those
just
coins
wondered
will
whether it
always
mattered
be
if
there.
it's on your,
Yeah.
cold storage, or if it's on
Mhm.
Coinbase or
It does.
whatever.
It does matter because
Mhm.
you won't. It's up to them if they're gonna give you the split.
Oh, okay. But if you hold it yourself,
It
that's
comes
what
to you.
happens.
Automatically.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because the coins actually exist on this like ledger, like it doesn't actually exist on the computer.
Do you think a lot of people will sell and then buy back after that date?
Oh man,
Yeah, I mean,
the greatest wealth ever. You know, when wealth is created is in the downturn. The Kennedy, Warren Buffett. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's.
but I'm just talking about like this, was it August 1st date, or what is that the date?
It's
So it
coming.
might be.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, you think a lot of people are gonna dump, and then everybody's gonna buy it back?
Of course.
Yeah.
So it might
It
be
hurts
good to
out.
have
The way the
like
market
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to.
funds
figure
ready.
it out.
Just-
Now all
I
of
don't wanna
these
miss
little,
it.
all of the,
right,
That's why
right.
I'm-
2 month bears. 2 month bears.
And then what will Ethereum do when that happens?
That's
Will-
that's a good.
Will it
question.
follow, or will it like?
You know, that is a really, really good question because
Yeah.
I've read that, and it's true now, that 2017 is the year of smart contracts, and that's why we're about to witness Ethereum pass. And the volume, it's already passed it several times for the first time, right? But it's still passing it due to the fees and how slow it is.
So maybe that's just move Bitcoin to Ethereum
and then
for 2
remember,
months.
and then remember, it got accepted recently on the dark markets, and so now I saw a study where there's like it was like 60% and 70%, and now we're like question mark. Well, how much percentage is being actually utilized? These coins getting utilized or getting used on the underground web. That's what it's being used for currently, and they're about to integrate Zcash, so you can anticipate what's going to happen there. But if I believe this is a boom and we're going to see a bust. It's just natural economics.
The business cycle.
Yes, and so it's just natural. But will Ethereum go down too? I'm not sure. That is a really hard question. But when it forks, it may. But they are going to go to proof of stake, so the stakeholders holding it will.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, if you guys have been in
Oh.
the space for a while, like, after every bubble, there's always a correction.
Right.
There's always
Which we haven't had. It's on a straight up bull
yeah,
run.
right now it's not. Now we're definitely in the bubble, right?
For sure.
Definitely in the bubble. There's definitely going to be a correction.
But I think it's going to go.
Every bubble pops. Every bubble pops.
It's gonna. I think
We're
when it
talking about
does,
Ethereum. It's gonna go back-
it's
we're
gonna
talking
be
about
like
Ethereum, right?
200 billion or something crazy. The ecosystem will be way up there. and it will crash so hard.
We're talking about everything. Like,
And so fast. It's really how fast it'll crash. That's what's going to be interesting to see.
And how fast it comes back.
And then
It'll
they'll
take
trading
forever.
machines
Well,
will go
okay,
wild that
here's what
way.
happens.
Did anybody see when the
Especially Bitcoin
ETF
right
didn't
now.
get passed? Or I guess you didn't, but when the ETF didn't get passed, the Winklevoss one, the ETF, oh man,
Yeah.
it was straight blood. And then it went
Well, yeah,
right back up.
and that's how every crash happens. You know, the bubble bursts, and then like price goes down, and it hits the floor, bounces back up, then bounces back down, then bounces back up, and then it consolidates and chills out for a little bit. And it's quiet.
So for a hedge for me, what I'm doing is like I'm looking at ICOs that I have real cases, right? So one is EcoBit, and they have they're backed by the Malaysian government and land, and they're going to be growing aquaponic farms and spirulina. Spirulina, if you don't know, it's a superfood. It's actually the oldest organism on the face of the earth. But anyways. And it can sustain life. In 1974, it was deemed the food of the future by the UN. It grows in space, so it has all these capabilities, and it has amazing properties for human life. So what I'm doing is I'm hedging in different ICOs or
What
low
was this
market.
called?
Huh?
What was this?
EcoBit. There's another one I like, NVO. It's an exchange. It's a decentralized exchange. So Poloniex is a centralized, so I already know it's going to get hacked. And so decentralized exchanges are going to be very valuable. So right now, the Ethereum movie is called The Pit Circus, okay? It'll be coming out next year, and it's on Ether Delta. Ether Delta is a decentralized exchange, and it's real cheap.
This is a movie that they're crowdfunding. You're
It's
talking
already.
But it's not about Ether. It's just a normal movie.
It's just powered by Ether.
okay. Just what it's like. A
It's
normal.
called The Pit Circus.
Okay.
So,
So they've got all their funding already?
oh yeah,
Wow.
but not as fast as it. So when I did that ICO, it was like right before the rush because it was actually a slow process, but they did it in 3 stages.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, I guess people were like, "What ICO?" So literally, this massive tsunami of money just started flowing in and everywhere. Now we have all these companies, and this is where another regulation will come in and crash because they're getting these high evaluations and they don't even have a product.
Tell
It's
them
like-
white
it's
paper.
happening.
They're MVP.
They're just
It's
what's
a
happening-
dot-com bubble
Dumb-
all over again.
dumb money.
That's .com, guys. That's
If you're a trader, trust me, it's a good time. But
And that's the reason
you don't have to be a
why
pro.
you
It's much simpler than what you think. But and it's a skill that you'll be very valuable. But anyways, yeah. So what I'm doing is hedging in ICOs that obviously they're real low. I can get a bunch of coins. Hey, if it crashes, like Luis and I do agree, it will go back up. So hey, I can get those coins with they're at 4 cents, 5 cents, right? And Bitcoin's way up here. I can trade in my Bitcoin, right, and get a ton of those coins. And then it goes up in value. Bitcoin goes back up in value. I can always trade back. It's extremely liquid, and that's just my personal strategy as far as hedging is in new development, but backed by something tangible. And that's what I look at.
It's still difficult to get in ICOs, right?
No, only there are some. There are a few, like Humanity, I believe. There are a few, but there's so many of them happening now that
So
Here's the thing about
Yeah.
ICOs. Here's the thing about ICOs, right? Because most of them don't allow U.S. people or whatever to. So if you're an American citizen and you participate in ICO and let's say you get ripped off and something goes out, you run off with your money, you have no recourse
So it's
because you weren't even supposed to be in
Yeah.
the first place.
It is. Don't get me wrong. It is
The Wild West.
It is a Wild West, and it is a risk. But that's why I do diligence and research as much as possible. And hey, when I see a government back something and also have physical land rainforest, then I feel much comfortable on handing over my Bitcoin to them.
I think the old adage still applies: is that don't invest more than you're
Willing to lose.
Right.
Have you heard of bit assets? I guess that's another BitShares thing. Apparently, you can go on there and create a bit asset based on their thing, and I think you can trade it. They said within an hour, and I don't know how that's different than an ICO. It's like again, my mind is just like
But-
can't keep up fast enough.
Yeah, that's right. There's so much information. So yeah, just like I said, read every day. You know,
Speed of
YouTube.
change, absolutely.
You know, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph.
So do you
know,
blog or anything?
Huh?
Do you blog or do Steam it or anything?
You know, I work with animals. I quit my job in the fitness industry. I work with dogs, and then I trade digital assets because it provides. You know, I have the time, right? So I'll be crypto dog for my. You know, name.
Dogecoin? Yeah, Dogecoin.
Crypto, yeah. I saw a photo of Mr. T flexing and it had a Doge emblem. I was like, nice. And so, yeah, I ordered a bunch of ETC, Ethereum Classic shirts. So I'll be like, I mean, there's no YouTube person or no person producing content with Ethereum Classic. And I want to do consulting, obviously, for, you know, stuff like this. And I want to travel. What I really want to do, I want to travel and interview projects and you know,
Review them.
review them, the pros and the cons. You know, even though if you don't make money, it's not a scam. It's just they weren't able to execute their plan. You know, so you know, it's really just doing diligence and figuring out. You know, what do you think is the best?
Yeah, I
route?
guess that's a good point because that's what, you know, I guess the initial hesitation was, okay, so if I don't program,
A coder,
if I don't write code,
right?
how do I fit in?
Exactly.
But there is a business associated with all of it, and business development, and I think that there's
That's why I invested in that
Opportunity.
strip club because it is a business. They have a model, and
or more than one model probably.
and
Modelo or
and when Nevada, they passed a law like, hey, we want everybody to come up in here. So I was like, okay, well here we go. They just backed it. You know, that was verification for me. I already knew it would be big just because sex sells, but you know, when the state came in and legalized, you know, or say, hey, we want companies here doing blockchain businesses, then this is the first one. This is the first physical business, and that's why I invested. I invested in the first Ethereum movie. You know, I invested in SYS Coin, which is the first decentralized eBay. So, you know, I want to be on the cutting edge of the first of everything. You know what I mean? There's Leon Fu is a really smart guy, and he says, hey, there's stuff they ain't even invented yet that could be bigger than Ethereum. So there's still all this limitless possibilities, and we're just starting out, you know. So even if Bitcoin's up, I understand, you know, maybe if you're a newbie, you know, like crash, right? But
I think it's
but anyways, there's other coins, and trust me, there are ways to, you know, to really make life-changing profits.
But the timing of all components, to me, the need for a more secure method of transactions is undeniable. And efficiency,
Right.
it's not efficient
Simplicity.
whatsoever. Yeah, and so there has to be something different. The globally trading currency and how we can't be a global world and it take that long to get money. And we can send an email and a text message and anything else we want to do, but we can't.
We're already a global world because go to Walmart. What are we producing? Nothing. What about food?
That's my point. But the awareness of that coming to a head at the same time that Bitcoin has gained a critical mass, and the Ethereum platform, and fundamentally the need for innovation to be able to distribute a little more broadly, so that more people can participate in it. You know, because like if you want to get in an IPO now, you've got to be an accredited investor, which is really just saying yes.
And not just that, but you have to be invited.
Yeah, you've got to know how to do. Most people don't even know of those opportunities, or you got to wait until it's too late. It's already on the
secondary market.
Yeah, it's already trading.
Well, I was gonna ask you why do you buy different altcoins? People buy altcoins for different reasons.
Well, I started with Bitcoin, then I got Ethereum. Just
Okay.
kind of, I heard about it. I'm like, I didn't research a heck of a lot
You
because
did
I'm
the
like,
herb
I'm
mentality.
busy, I'm busy, you know. I'm like, take action, and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah,
and
nice,
then
nice. When did
I
you-
got into BitShares because of going to this conference and hearing the guy.
When did you buy Ethereum? What year?
What was last year?
It was about 20 or 30 a share or whatever it's called, coin.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
That's
10x.
when
It's
you
like-
started
it's
buying
like
in.
10x.
Yeah, yeah,
Like February, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I bought some in maybe November and some in February, whatever. And
They hovered at $9.
And the
for a
BitShares
long
last
time.
week actually went up 3 times in 2 days. I don't know why. So
But the reason why you're putting, you're working and or earning income, my question is, why are you transferring into altcoins and cryptocurrencies? Is it you're hedging or?
well, it just seems kind of the obvious thing to do. I mean, I don't know if I can articulate it very well. But
Because some people, they'll be like, well, I'll buy Bitcoin, that's it.
I mean, I'm kind of high risk. I'm at the age retirement, 10 years to
Right.
retire less,
That's what I'm saying,
and I'm
yeah.
willing to risk to get what I want. and
That's what I'm talking about.
I know this is it. This is the time to strike.
I like it.
Yeah, live like that.
I've done that all my life. I've been like,
We're just gonna play it
I'm
safe.
telling you.
That's okay.
There's this
We need
crazy
people like
story.
these.
There's this crazy story about what's his name.
I like that.
Rick Papini. He's the head of the Pirate Party in Sweden. And back when Bitcoin was like around $3 or something, then it was like $3. Put his entire life savings,
Wow.
into Bitcoin. And he was telling everybody, he was like, yeah, man.
I think it is changing the world. I mean, it's like we never had anything like this. Well, like I said, I guess the
Everybody
railroads
thought
were the
it was
best example, and the internet was the next example. And like this other mentor, he says, I missed this, I missed this, I missed the mobile revolution. I'm not missing the AR, VR, and the crypto
Right.
coin
No, but
revolution.
if you go, he linked back to the forums, like maybe like 6, 7 years ago, and he was like, when he told everybody, like, hey
They're
guys, I
laughing
went
at
off.
him, yeah.
Yeah, like hey, I put my entire life savings into Bitcoin, and everybody's like, and these were like true believers, like back then, like this is like
Yeah.
it's like the Bitcoin
This,
forum.
this guy sold his house for $300K and put it in the Litecoin.
And, yeah, and they were
And
just
he
like
as country
this-
as you can believe.
I mean, like some of the developers, like the really big, like true believer, Bitcoin, are just like, this guy's crazy, this guy's nuts. Like
Yep.
he really thinks in 5 years he's gonna make 1,000x gains on his investment.
Oh yeah, this guy.
This guy's crazy.
He's like old truck, out in the country somewhere, like Tennessee or something, accent, hardcore,
Yeah.
beard. And this guy's like, I like Litecoin. It's simple. I'm a simple man. I'm like, dude, and people are like, oh yeah, I'm selling my house. No one wants to hold the dollar, and he's just like,
You need Larry the Cable Guy to sell
Exactly.
a Bitcoin. Larry the Cable
And,
Coin.
and I saw people were like, oh, you're done, this and that.
This guy's crazy.
And then as soon as Litecoin got added to Coinbase, took off, the dude's a legend. And I mean, it's just, that's, I guess what I was looking for, is you're willing to risk it because you see the potential. And that's, I guess we'll find out what happens. But ultimately, it's not going away. So that's really the difference too for stocks. When companies go down, they don't come back. That's it. It doesn't.
Well, I bought silver in my IRA, and it went down, and it's just like sitting there for 5-10 years.
Exactly.
Like, so much for that.
But what we're witnessing here, it might dip, and then it's on this massive run. But ultimately, it's here to stay, and it's
something like it.
A lot of
The other thing I think is
Might be
that
Bitcoin.
I like the idea of the Star Trek
Bitcoin
generation,
Limited.
that whatever it is we're moving into,
A lot of these
or the
guys-
Messianic age, if you want to get religious on you.
Did you know that last year that they successfully completed the first Bitcoin transaction in space?
I think I may have heard. No, there was a commercial. There was YouTube was showing that over and over, I think.
I didn't see it. I just
Some
read it off the
commercial.
point desk. They completed the first space transaction. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How's
Yeah,
that
and
possible?
Genesis Mining was showing that, I think, on their commercial on YouTube.
I hang out in these forums where you have these crazy investors, and they just have like this. And honestly, sometimes it's like I don't know if these guys are really really smart or really really stupid.
Right.
Because
Only time will tell. It's like the
they're just like, hey guys,
history
I
of
just
the
put everything
winners write
into
history.
this one thing, what 100x leverage. I don't know, guys. We'll
It's
see.
just like the visionary,
Yeah.
No one sees what they
Well,
see.
that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Are these guys like really, really smart or just really, really stupid? Like,
Time will tell.
We don't know, right?
Time will tell.
Think about the people when they were trading Bitcoin for $5 and $10.
Like the
You know,
guy-
obviously they didn't see anything, you know.
The 10,000 pizza.
The-
Or the
the-
10,000?
Well, that was the first. That was the first.
When did you get your
can't-
first domain name? I think I was 1996 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, I bet like people who were like into the internet.
Yeah,
stuff,
people are
like,
buying
it was,
domain
like,
names.
I don't know if this guy's
Right.
really, really smart or really, really stupid.
The new hosting will be .xyz. Won't be .com. .xyz.
What's that?
It's just
Really?
well, Google, their parent company is Alphabet, and they abc.xyz. So, basically, it's like a restart of the internet on the domain list. Yeah, has anybody heard of
I have not
.xyz?
even studied that. I'm in IT. I don't even know that.
What do you call it? Cyber squatters or something?
So where do you buy those domains?
Just go to .xyz.
I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
So it's great
See
meeting
you.
you. Okay.
Adios.
Yeah, my investing in
Anyways.
domains hasn't worked out very well.
Yeah,
By speculating, I was way late to that party.
Yeah.
I've got-
Well, you're early to this one, so.
yeah, you're early for sure.
I've been late to everything.
Front row seat.
I've been scammed and Ponzi schemed and everything else. I get it. It's just money, you can make more.
I have cards if anybody wants to connect. I got my Crypto BB site. That's my new one.
Very nice.
There might be some high risk things on there that you might not like.
nice.
I'm out to get it.
So you were mentioning Streamit?
Steam it.
Steamit? Okay, and that's like
It's a-
radio streaming?
It's more like a blogging site, but it's like the money gets made when people blog and other people
Vote.
comment.
Yeah.
And then they vote for their witnesses. It's so, there's no
But-
mining.
but
That's
that's
what's so,
awful.
they're wasting so much energy on this
Yeah,
mining.
right.
That can be
It's
used for other
very
things. That's what
awful.
I'm saying. To me, that's a whole genius thing.
Yeah.
But he left. That don't make sense.
Who, the Dan guy?
Yeah.
But he's starting something else. He instead of like, some people are creative, they don't keep their old children, they go make new children. Right?
Trading here and all that?
So like, I've only been training for like 2 weeks, but I got my account like 30% gains.
Yeah.
30% gains. Which exchange am I using?
Mhm.
What'd you get the 30% gain on?
The ETC.
Oh, okay. Just making
Yeah.
sure.
Great.
ETC,
Gotta go
man.
classic,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, think about it. If Ethereum's 400 and Ethereum Classic's 20,
Yeah, that's, I can't
come on.
throw that.
Yeah, it's. And then when Ethereum goes to POS, where do you think all the miners are going to go? They're going to go to ETC. ETC is a really.
So that's
I'd say
basically what, so that's what's
it's a good
driving.
one.
Yeah.
That's what's driving the price on ETH.
I just-
is, all these companies backing it because it's not immutable, because if there is some central governing body that will guarantee something.
It does create a safety.
Yeah.
Executives
Safety,
from
and-
Chase, I believe,
I
said
guess
that they
this
were
is like a
they were
bestseller
monitoring
for people in
the
the
situation, the
corporate
fork,
world. So it's like
and they liked how they was
explaining
working
Ethereum.
on coding.
It's explaining
I believe it
Ethereum
was
for
from
non-tech
JP Morgan
people.
Chase.
So
Yeah,
I bought
they're-
a
It's not
Udemy
just
course,
Chase.
but
I mean,
haven't
they've
had time to go all the way through
I've-
it yet.
Well, this
so
already
right now
is
it's
fake
trying
news.
to-
Because I'm a software guy.
Citibank,
all
the
the
biggest one in
platforms.
space.
they're talking about it, but they're Microsoft.
No, like investing in it,
Trading.
literally
Right
taking
now,
partnerships
I'm working with a
and
partner,
paying
who's
all
an app
the
developer.
Nobody
And we want to
that
get into
is,
like, a platform, building something.
yeah.
And
smart
just
that I've
exploring, these options.
watched,
So
like that we
you
would
wanna do, like,
generally
an
have
app or
respect
kinda,
for,
like, build something, like,
is
an app on
saying
Ethereum, or-
anything
That's
negative.
possibility.
They may not be coming out to endorse it
Right.
directly,
What is he?
But they're not coming out and saying.
but
He's
"Oh,
on
they're
Swift.
not
He's
saying,
done JavaScript as well.
which they would ordinarily be the first one to be like, Shh, yeah, right.
Even
So right now,
regulators.
No, they're not. They're pretty silent,
The former FinCEN
which is surprising.
director,
Your coding so far?
Jennifer.
my partner is.
She was
He's
the
doing
former head of
something
FinCEN,
And you're in IT?
right? She
You're
came
more
out
like
and
the
didn't
business
say anything
development.
negative.
Yeah, I was a software engineer.
Didn't say anything positive, but didn't say anything
Yeah,
negative.
I'm
And you
more
would
the
think
supply
FinCEN of
chain,
all the
human
different organizations,
resources.
they're the ones that would
Business
come out and say, absolutely not, this can't happen. No,
B2B
they
stuff,
don't.
like.
Now,
Sending
we have a new
data.
FinCEN director, right, because Jennifer left.
Sending data.
She's
Yeah,
now the
sending,
head of
receiving data,
compliance for
orders.
HSBC.
Yeah, people are getting fired.
Okay,
People
yeah.
are getting fired pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's stuff that I've done.
Well, she's gonna solve the crooked. HSBC
Well,
is
they-
the
they-
one.
Yeah, like the
It's a
technology
cartel.
of blockchain and how it
I mean,
can be
yeah,
applied
like-
to like logistics. and
Yeah,
supply
what-
chain.
You were very talkative.
It's frustrating about it.
You got some words to come out, don't you?
I'm just
Is
here to
your
listen.
point, and we should know
Soaking it in.
everything about it. We
Right.
should. But
Did you buy your
financial
Bitcoin? You have some
companies,
Bitcoin?
banks,
Yep.
mortgage companies, we
Bitcoin
should know everything
0.004.
about these people
$150
and be way ahead
Better?
of so many different things with the technology.
And
It's
then-
today, but we
And
spent the
then the
last
app changed, so now I can't
15
even see it
years
like I used to be.
trying
able
to
see
throw
it.
compliance
Used to
in
be able to,
that.
on Coinbase.
We didn't
you
hire a
pull up
smart
and see.
developer.
Oh yeah, just a few weeks ago.
So
the
nobody was
screen's
thinking.
changed.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Then you gotta log in every
Wasn't
time
a
to see
word.
what you
It was
have.
all
Where before it
regulated.
would pop up
The
there.
He
Come
said,
on, code.
"Don't get on the internet. Don't tell them what the rate is. Don't, you know,
Right.
you can't disclose anything out there. That's you
It's-
can't compete
that's-
in the open marketplace."
That's the incumbents trying to keep their place, right?
Right,
And-
for sure.
And they try to keep their place by
There's a lion
suppressing
at the table.
innovation, by lobbying against any kind of new technologies that might threaten their space. So, and it happens in everything, right? Not just in business,
Mhm.
right? So, it's just natural, I think, whenever you start having this kind of the new developments come out, you're gonna have the disruptors,
Mhm.
which I'm a fan of, right?
Mhm.
Because we need to shake up,
Yeah.
right? So
I
Amazon
wish
shaked
I wish I
up.
learned how to code.
Right.
20 years
Amazon
ago.
shook up the book industry, right?
Whoa.
Not just the books.
It turns out so many other things, right? But initially it was books,
A
right?
to Z.
Right. So eBay started disrupting the retail in general, right? So
eBay
every
created
big disruption.
trustless too, because you don't know who the seller is, and you know what I mean. That's what eBay. It's in the book in
Yeah.
terms of the future too.
But it makes sense. I mean, the reviews tell you how strong the sellers are.
Right.
So, and that's what you base yourself on. So this is just, every industry has been disrupted by information technology. Banking is the last holdout, right? Because they were the biggest incumbent.
I used to work
And they
for
still
First
are.
Republic Bank in California for
Wow.
a year. And I work for Thornburg Mortgage, so mortgage guys.
It's just
Well, anyways,
It's central bank.
Yeah.
The monetary.
Anyway, has Facebook, Sean Spain, and yeah, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Spain?
like the country.
Okay.
And then I have the
Red
first
ones.
photo I took with a Bitcoin ATM, so that's my photo. I did Dr. Gold and Addison.
I did a video, the one that I did at the Bitcoin here at the Deep L one.
I've been to a bunch of them, but that one, I like that one. It's a really nice one. Masu, I believe.
I've never used one again since then.
But yeah, it's in
Yes.
a jewelry
Yes.
store. It's real nice, and that's where it's.
Well,
That's
because
my
it gives
photo.
them a competitive advantage.
What is it?
Addison, Dr. Gold and the Bitcoin ATM.
yeah. I'll send you a connection.
Yeah, Sean Spain. Easy.
Do you have a card or something?
I know. I'm behind. I'm behind.
You need to get
I'm
Twitter.
sorry.
Oh, you have Twitter?
Yeah, Crypto Dog.
Crypto dog.
Crypto dog.
I gotta follow you.
Crypto, and I think crypto_dog, because someone has crypto dog. Bastards. Yeah, look at me real quick. Crypto_dog on Twitter. But yeah, if you just get on Twitter, I didn't have the Twitter ever. And all of a sudden,
I
they're
got
like,
it
hey,
last year.
yeah, they're like, hey, there's a lot of people on here for development. I'm like, what? So I started, following them, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
And then
So do you blog on Steam or not? Or you just know about
I
it?
have an account, and I just literally got this like yesterday.
So you're gonna go, like I said, you can interview people, then Steam it.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
working it all
Instead of
right
building a YouTube channel, build it there.
Is it open source?
So
It is, 'cause the group I'm in is talking about like forking that and making our own.
yeah, there it is.
I don't know why exactly.
Just
Yeah.
making their own version.
It's on my, yeah, it's on my website.
But yeah, I
Definitely
can
link
make
on my crypto BB.
Sean Spain at
Oh, I'll check it
Proton.
out. So Steam
There's
it?
a lady on there,
Proton Mail?
she says she made like $1 million in 90 days.
Proton.
Just by, I counted, she blogs like 19 times a day. So I don't know if she's like a work-at-home
Yeah.
mom
Oh,
or
and it's
something.
SHAW.
Maybe she just-
And it's
The
the
first-
quality of your blogs, and you connect to people. It's just like
SHAW.
Twitter. If you get enough followers and they vote for you,
Sounds
the
good.
votes kind of move you up.
That's Sean SHAW, not SEA.
So they always say you do it.
I would have found it one way or the other. The coin would have given away.
You got some money.
Well, and it's in Steam, and then you have to power
With-
down to get it out. I don't remember how the power down works.
Are you like
I don't know if
talking
it's
about
It's like in their coin
websites?
currency.
Yeah, it's their own. It's a crypto coin. It's called
'Cause I-
Steam. They have. It's even more confusing. It's
I
Steam
just
dollars.
okay,
It's
so
Steam
you
hours.
go on WordPress. There's
My
lots
line
of
of feed
things
is just like
and
I can't keep up with it.
plugins
I'm in
already
it.
built out
Website
to
do
throw
what?
to build a.
And it's a
Adapt-
blockchain, and then
a
Steam
news
is I think a company
with
that runs the
food feeds
website.
and
But I heard there's
currency,
other
like, you can
websites that
put
run
together
on
a
the same
blog
blockchain.
Yeah.
locally.
There's just so many that that's why in my opinion.
So all the
you
blogs
can
are in the
interview,
blockchain.
And I can
And they
do
say
like
if you change
obviously
it,
they get
people can see
sponsored
the
or whatnot.
history, what you
But
said
Leon
originally,
Food, they
what
got
you
sponsored by
changed
Privacy
to,
Coin.
put videos
They
on
did is
there,
they
YouTube.
looked into all
So
the
you guys know,
different
you guys
privacy coins
Marge
and what
Shkreli?
the differences
What's
between
up?
them.
Marge
They didn't get
Shkreli,
sponsored,
Shkreli, you know?
but it was
What's up, Farmer
research,
Bro?
the
Farmer
difference
Bro?
between privacy coins.
So he,
stuff like
yeah.
that. remember, there's an insurance release.
I don't know. Yeah, what you're talking about.
So it's.
You guys jacked up the.
Yeah, you know, that's why I
price
think
of
interviewing
the
and conference and
conference.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to do to
Part of it.
actually, you know, get
So
a face with it,
yeah,
right?
you got Twitter,
And
I guess
people
for
can make their own
harassment,
decision.
whatever, you know.
So information.
So you made another account,
flowing everywhere.
and like they done that one too.
They do it.
You got another one right now. You got called
Were
BLM
people
Bros.
talking about like
You got another account.
See, like Steven, I don't think they can keep this
Like
off, but
like
they can
Like
flag
to
you,
build
and they can
it,
like
like,
not
I
vote
wouldn't
for
build
you, so it's
website.
like public
Like,
punishment,
all
but
functional.
you still got your account, I think.
you know, WordPress doesn't
So you make some money if you can like go viral and become popular.
compatible with
Well, you
Or
can, you too, you can, I mean,
That's
it's
true.
whatever.